how to replace a clutch in a VTX 1800. You need to basically take these covers off. There's one cover underneath here, which means we will have to remove the exhaust pipe. 2 bolts in the front flange, 2 bolts in the rear flange. You need to take them off. I recommend loosening each one without completely taking it out first. And you'll want to make sure that you hold the end of the ratchet and pull up on it. Don't just go like that. It's a good way to bust an exhaust stud. And that is on any bolt that you loosen, not just the exhaust studs. Once you get done removing the bolts from the header pipes, you'll also need to remove the brackets in the rear. Vance 9 pipes have 4 bolts, you can see them right there. Take those off and then remove the exhaust pipes. This bike has 15,000 miles on it since I removed the pipes last. You can see the silicone is not burnt off. I use 700 degree copper. I do not replace the gaskets every time. To me, it's just not worthwhile. The next step is to remove these 2 chrome covers. The bolts that come around here, these bolts have little rubber grommets. And they are a 5mm. This cover should come off just like so. Might need to get a little screwdriver underneath the bottom of it. Try and put the screwdriver on the bottom so you don't see if you scuff it up a little bit. These bolts do not have a little rubber cover. Okay, the bolts that you want to remove all the way around this housing. I choose to crack all the bolts loose. I like using a long extension just so I make sure that I don't put any stress on the bolts. That one's pretty tight. Okay, once you get all the bolts out, all the way around, remember there's one in there. It kind of hides on you a little bit. But you can take a screwdriver, get it right back in here. There's a little access. Helps if you get a little bit shorter screwdriver. You get it behind the back of the engine case and the front of this clutch cover. If you pry forward just a little bit, it will pry off. Okay, when you remove these bolts, like I said, hold the back of the ratchet and turn it. Try and keep this perfectly parallel to the bolt. If you just put a ratchet on here like this and push down, you will snap those bolts. And many people have issues with it, and I have a feeling that that's why. You don't need a huge 3/8 monster ratchet either to get a hold of these bolts. Okay, once you get done doing that, you want to take these bolts and you want to loosen them up somewhat evenly. If you can take them all out 3 turns at a time, makes life a lot easier. One thing you don't want to do is take these 2 out and work your way this way across, otherwise it'll put a lot of pressure on that pressure plate and you still have the opportunity to snap the bolt off. Now, you want to pull your pressure plate out. Sometimes it'll come with a pile of clutches, that's okay. Looks like it's coming out as a pile of clutches on this one. This is a big stack. This piece separates. This is your pressure plate. Also take notice, you also have your pin and your bearing in there. You want to check, make sure your bearing feels smooth. Now you got to dig all the way back and get all of those pressure plates out. I like to use a paper clip, bend the little end, just kind of get it behind there and pull it out. Okay, I don't know if you can see this, but this is one of my clutch plates, and there's a couple little shiny spots on there, and that's where these steel plates will glaze over. So what you want to do is you want to take a little bit of sanding paper if you're going to reuse them, and you want to scuff them up, giving them a non-directional finish. You don't want to just go around like this. You actually want to create little swirls or kind of cross hatches in it. So take that glazing off of there, and they'll wear in with the new clutch friction discs. This will give you an idea of what you're looking for. Those are after sanding. These are before sanding. All you're looking to do is take a little bit of that glaze off. I've been using 80 grit sandpaper on these, and as soon as you see that it's fully changed color, you quit. If you are going to end up sanding these plates down, what you want to do is you want to make sure you spray these down real well with brake cleaner, blow them off. Do it about 5-6 times. Make sure you get all that abrasive crap off of the clutch plates. Now all the green marks are aligned. The last one that you put in is off center. So all the green marks are here. The last one, the green, is one notch over. After you get done doing that, make sure that your little pin is inside your bearing, and you can go ahead and slide this on. Just like so. Okay, once you get all the springs in there, you want to kind of do it in reverse order. What I do is I tighten each one down a little bit in kind of a star pattern. Okay, there might be a little bit of oil pooled up in this area down here. You want to make sure and take a rag and wipe that out. Then you want to put silicone all the way around the area that I did. You can see I didn't put any on the outside lip here. You can see I didn't put any on the outside lip here. Only that first mating surface. What I also do is I take the cover and I do the same thing on the other side. You don't need a ton. You just need enough to barely cover it, as long as you don't see aluminum. There's two dowels. There's one that's still in this cover, there's one that's in this cover. They can flip-flop when you put them on and take them off multiple times. But when you put this back on, all you really want to do is pay attention to where those dowels are. Those alignment pins are the only thing that matter. Once you get those alignment pins put on, you just throw the bolts in. So at this point, I'm going to put all the bolts in.